Kylie, how are you, my darling? You
Yeah,
good?
I am
Mm.
fantastic. Five
Yeah.
o'clock here in Brisbane, Australia. Beautiful weather, 29 degrees. How's it going over there?
Well, it's 7 a.m. and 4 degrees. So,
I
so
know,
it's
it cracks me up. It,
it's quite chilly
it's
here.
quite
Yeah.
chilly, is it?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah,
we've got some fun things to talk about. I
yeah,
think,
yeah,
important things to talk about. And we just had a quick chat before we went live. And just as a reminder for everyone that's listening, Andrew and I both have over 20 years of friendship, mentorship, and coaching. We both did our organizational psych degrees together here in Brisbane, Australia. You are just such a world-renowned coach, business mentor, amazing over in the UK and Australia, worldwide, really. And a couple of months ago, I said, I want to start doing some small, short, sharp wisdom bite-sized sessions where we can just talk about leadership challenges, because I work with leaders every single day, you work with leaders every single day, and we hear the challenges that they go through. And you went, let's do it together. So that's why we're here.
yeah. Kylie, the thing that has been happening for me probably for the last 4 months, particularly sort of we started, even though COVID ended over here, for example, we've been through a lot of changes,
Yeah.
and there were a lot of shuffles with staff and things like that. And the one thing that started to come across my desk with coaching clients was, I'm just flat out. I'm so busy. I've got
Yeah.
so much to do, right? And partly because I don't have the staff or the resourcing, that's changed. But so there was a legitimate thing where I've got lots and lots and lots to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then there's that other bunch of people who you and I really were focusing on, who take on way, way, way too much, and they're
Yeah.
busy, not productive.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, I was down on the Gold Coast on Friday at
Yeah,
SeaWorld, and I did a keynote for Spark Financial Group, a dealer group here in Australia,
yeah,
and feeling foxy.
yeah.
A dealer group here in Australia, a beautiful dealer group. And what they are, and I'm not giving them a plug, but I just think they're so pretty special. Arthur Callis is the CEO there, but they're the first profit for purpose, 100% profit for
Wow.
purpose dealer group. Okay, I love it because they're helping so many Australians have financial literacy. But that was beside the point. Okay, I ended up running two workshops down there. One was maximizing your operating rhythm. Okay. And the first question I asked the audience, Andrew, which is exactly what you were just talking about then, I said to everyone, I said, hands up, who has a forever, never ending to-do list? Okay.
Yeah.
Their to-do list is just never ending. Every single person put their hand up in there.
So let me just press pause there for a minute, Kylie. Operating rhythm?
Operating rhythm. So what is it? What is your operating rhythm? Whether you're a financial planner, CEO, senior leader, accountant, doesn't matter. What is your operating rhythm each day in order for you to be the most productive and efficient person that you can be, professional that you can be?
I'm
And
assuming that's on a healthy range to unhealthy.
well,
Just
when you think
explain.
about it, what we often do as individuals is we have this long list of things, don't we? We keep
Yeah,
adding to it. We just keep adding
yeah,
to it, adding to it, adding to it.
yeah.
Yet, do we really need to do all of that list? Okay, is that list everything that we need to do? So one tool that I love, and I've been teaching leaders on it for, I don't know, well over 12 years, is the Eisenhower matrix. So Dwight Eisenhower, 34th president of the United States, thinking you a thing or two about prioritization. Stephen Covey made it famous in the urgent and important matrix. And essentially what it is what needs to be done now, what needs to be scheduled, what needs to be delegated. Okay. And I'm passionate about delegating. I wrote my book on delegation. Okay.
I was going to say, hold the book up.
Yeah. Well, I will. I'll get it. And the second and the fourth quadrant, okay, is what do we need to delete? Okay, because I often find that as leaders or as professionals, we think we got to do it all.
Yeah.
And do we? Probably not. Okay, so what are the things that are urgent that are going to move us forward to achieve our goals, our objectives, our strategy? Okay, what are the things that are important to do that we've got to schedule, like coaching sessions, like business development, like strategy, all that sort of stuff? But what are the things we got to delegate? And then what are the things we got to delete? And one of the things you said before we even hopped on there, it's not just about a to-do list, it's about a
not to-do list.
Not to do.
So I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated from the clinical side of things, because you just mentioned the Eisenhower matrix, right?
Yeah.
What do I need to do right now? And the other one was what do I need to do now?
What do I need to schedule?
What do I need to schedule? Then the bottom two are what do I need to delegate? What do I just need to
delete?
Delete,
dump.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
My observation is most of the clients I start with who are senior leaders, right?
Yeah.
Consciously or unconsciously end up in those bottom two quadrants. So these are really smart, clever people who they're taking on delegation. They're not delegating effectively.
They're not. Yep.
And they're not deleting stuff, right? So the question I'm interested in, and that keeps them very busy, not productive, right? But the productive zone is those, I'm assuming those top two.
It is, yeah.
Right. So the thing is, and you've sort of hinted at it, is there's a almost like a compulsion to fill up your diary, but it's not like in your delegation book. It'd be good if you held that up so people can see it, because it's a great book. Yeah, but there's a compulsion just to take on everything, and then it's very indiscriminate without actually thinking, do I actually need to be doing this or not, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of guys I talk with, I take the delegation one, right, for a start off, right? If for me, I work with CEOs and then I work with COOs and stuff like that, right? To me, a CEO is a strategic role.
Yeah.
Whereas a CEO is a more of a hands-on managerial role, if you like, where it's the nitty-gritty stuff. And I've got CEOs tiptoeing
operational.
They're tiptoeing into the tactical operational stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Partly because they've been there and done it, and they've got the expertise in it. But then there's a mindset of, look, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done properly. I better check on this, blah, 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 blah. What's your observation? Because you're saying the too much impacts your operating rhythm. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So essentially, and this is what I spend a lot of time, because I do a lot of CEO, a lot of COO, a lot of CFOs, but I also do a lot of senior leaders as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I often say is, that to-do list is what needs to happen today. Within the next 24 hours, what are your three frogs? Brian Tracy talks about them as the three frogs. Ivy Lee method talks about it as what are the top 6 things you need to do today. Okay. Doesn't matter if it's 3, if it's 5, if it's 2, if it's 4. It doesn't matter. What are the priorities that need to happen? What's important? But that schedule list is, and I often say this to the executives, what are the 4 big things that you should be working on that are going to help you to achieve your strategy, your objectives, that's going to help you move you forward, okay? Now, that most of the time, okay, is the 4 big areas that I want them to schedule in their calendar on a weekly, fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis, okay? That's where they go wrong, okay? They get so busy staying in the first quarter space that they forget to schedule. And what happens is they get a panic, and then it's like, oh my God, we haven't achieved it. And then it's blaming it on everyone else. Whereas I often will give businesses or senior leaders a really clear operating rhythm around meetings that they have to have. Okay, I've got an operating rhythm that this is, as a CEO, the CFO, senior leader, these are the meetings I want you to be having to make sure we're achieving our strategy, we're making sure we're operationally on target, our measures are good, we're doing our planning, all that sort of stuff, because so often people get busy in the busy. I need them to get out of the busy. Need them to get in and make sure they're working on the things they should be working on. So if you can kind of, if any leaders that are listening, if you can think to yourself, out of your remit, what are the 4 things?
We're talking to you. We're talking to you.
We're talking to you, everyone that's listening. What are the 4 things that you absolutely must achieve in your business that is on your remit, that is on your JD, that is on your position description, that is going to help you achieve where the business needs to go? And where is that scheduled?
I sort of come at it from a slightly different angle sometimes when I'm working with a CEO who I know has put their hand up and said, yeah, I'm busy, not productive. My to-do list is just crazy, right? I'll get them to get the organizational chart out. And I'll say, where do you sit on the organizational chart? And tell me who else is in there, particularly if they've got one that they can see it. And then I say, where are you doing someone else's job who you're paying to do that job, right? Because at CEO level, your job is to hold people accountable, not do the work for them, right?
Yeah.
So if you've got someone who's not actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's the problem you've got to address, not go fix their stuff. Having said that, when I ran my business, I had 15 employees, for example, right? If something's screwing up, I'll roll my sleeves up and I'll go and fix it, right? But then I'll say, hey, come in here. Why was it necessary for me to roll my sleeves up? Because that's at coaching level, that's the thing you're trying to solve. Why was it necessary for me to get involved with this? Why was it necessary for me to start mentally managing someone else's role? That's how your to-do list fills up.
Yeah, it does. But, and I don't want to go off topic but I want to make a point is that as senior leaders, as C-suites, our role is to make sure we're developing and growing new leaders. Okay. So how are they doing that in order to be able to do that? Okay. We've got to make sure that we're providing them with the tools, the resources, the skills, the training in order for them to be able to do the job. I'm running a workshop tomorrow actually around how to transform middle managers into higher performing leaders. Okay. Because we've got to be able to support our middle managers in order to be able to achieve the strategy. They're the ones that achieve the strategy. The CEO doesn't achieve the strategy. It's the people under them, the people that are doing the work that are achieving the strategy. So how are the CEOs, how are the C-suites, how are the senior leaders providing their people with the competencies, the capabilities and the training, the tools to be able to do the job?
And if your to-do list is rammed, you haven't got the bandwidth to then say, hey, I need to be bringing it through. I haven't got time to spend with people to bring them through, right? Instantly, the question I asked before certainly drives accountability. At my level, I would say, why was it necessary for me to get involved in here, right? I actually don't want the answer. I don't know. I don't need to know the answer. I'm not looking for information. Right? I've already got the information because I got involved, right? Who cares why? The point is I got involved, right? I don't really care. At senior leadership level, I mean, I coach my leaders to go, look, when you ask a question, it's not to get information, right? It's to drive accountability or it's to get people to think. So it's actually a good coaching question as well, right? So you talk about coaching people through. It's actually a great coaching question. Yeah, why was it necessary for me to get involved this time? It doesn't have to be hard-edged. But that is people reflecting, right?
Yeah.
But come back to what you were saying before. The operating rhythm is choked because of too much. What's the solution?
This. And this one,
it's a great book, by the way.
Look,
really
this wasn't to plug it, guys. Okay, that wasn't the purpose of this thing. But okay, our role as a leader is to make sure that we are delegating to empower, we are delegating to develop, we are delegating to inspire, to motivate, to engage, to drive success of our people. And I'll tell you, I'll give it, yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say, so in a sense, through effective delegation, you're actually enabling them to go up into those top quadrants.
You are, but you're also enabling yourself. So what I say is if you can delegate the things out, you get to spend more time on the things that you should be working on. Okay.
Yeah.
So the more and look, delegation does require some short-term pain in order to get long-term gain. Okay. And I want to be really clear about that. Delegation does require that. But the more that we start to delegate, the more that we start to empower and engage and support and drive our people, the more capable they'll be. Okay. So we know, and you know what we should talk about actually next fortnight is Gallup have just released their 2022 survey, worldwide survey. I don't know if I've sent it to you yet, but I've read it and it is just a massive concern to me. What we do know is our employees want to know more. They want to learn more. They want to be inspired. They want to grow. They want to develop. If they don't, they're going to leave. If they don't, they're going to disengage. They're going to quiet quit. They're going to do all of that sort of stuff. So as leaders, the more that we can get off our desk, the more that we can take off our to-do list, the more that we can give to the people around us, the more that we are inspiring their growth. And for any leaders out there that go, oh no, my people are too busy, they can't take on anymore, guarantee you're wrong, okay? Because what I've found on so many occasions is people want to learn more. They want to grow. They want to be involved in these projects. They want to be a part of something that is bigger than what they do every day. So
and let me put a fine point on that. The word people here, right? We know that by 2030, millennials are going to be running the planet.
Yeah.
And they're the people who want more meaning and engagement, and they want to know it's them specifically. So the boomers, they're pretty much out of the game by about 2030. That's just 7 years away.
I know.
So it's almost like leadership training. What you're talking about is stamped urgent. And there's people who go, well, no, that's not going to impact me. It may not, but you want to leave a good legacy as well. You want to be really thinking. You get people who are quiet quitting or actually walking, right? They're going somewhere. And the people in the UK, what I'm seeing is the companies they're going to, people who've actually thought through exactly what you're talking about today.
Yeah. Well, do you know the Gallup survey, and it's worldwide survey, it was saying 50% of the people that are employed are looking for another position. 50%. Okay. Yeah. So what we as leaders need to be able to do is we need to be able to engage. We need to be able to support and grow and have succession plans and offer flexibility and offer things that we know that our people need in order to keep them. We already know unemployment's at a low rate, okay? Many businesses are scraping the bottom of the barrel, okay, to get people in. We know it costs more money to bring people on, but why not engage? Why not drive? Why not support that in order to keep them?
My experience is the 50% that you're talking about is, sadly, your top talent. So the 50% that stay, I'm getting paid. I can just stay where I am, right? So that's the other concern. The not to do list is, I think you've already covered off. It's go back and look. You said ask your people what's on your list and what are you doing that you shouldn't be doing. I think that was my argument with my guys is you need a not to do list. Look at what's on them. So I shouldn't be doing that. Right.
Yeah.
What's your tip?
And I think use the Eisenhower matrix, I think is a really great start. But also what I've actually had a number of leaders do is show the Eisenhower matrix to their leaders and say, is there anything on here that you actually should be doing that I'm doing? So they'll actually start to take some of those things off them. Okay, as well.
Yeah. And then when you delegate it, it's not then go back and redo that work for the people.
Well, and I touch on it in this book. There around delegation is never take it back from the person. If you delegate it right, but never take it back, because one, they're going to feel like a failure. You're going to make them feel horrible. And potentially in most situations when I've seen delegation done wrong, it's because the leader hasn't delegated it right in the first time. They haven't thought it through. They haven't considered it. They haven't explained it. They haven't talked about the why. They haven't talked about a commitment. They haven't talked about all the things that I touch on in this book. But as leaders, we need to get better at figuring out what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, what we should be delegating, and what we should just actually be making sure that we are scheduling in to ensure we're going to hit our goals, our objectives, our strategy.
Yeah, and at that level, the scheduling part then becomes, let's free up bandwidth so you can actually get onto that scheduling side of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hold the book up again, because we're running out of time, but hold the book up. It's a great book.
I'll actually get RG to pop it into the chat bar. So it's hard copy or it's soft copy as well. So you can get it on Kindle. RG's already said he has. But you know what? I'm running a workshop for how to transform middle managers into higher performing leaders. Absolutely sold out within 1 hour. Okay. So I'm going to run it again. So for those people that have missed out, we will absolutely make sure we put on our website when we're running it again. So we'll put a link on there so you can put your expressions of interest. But it just goes to show how many people realize that we need our middle managers to make sure they're performing, because they're the ones that help us achieve the strategy. We've got to get that bit right.
And especially now, for all the reasons you've been talking about.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I love it that it's sold out in an hour.
I know, crazy, huh? Crazy.
A lot of people put it on their to-do list straight away, schedule it straight away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As always, wonderful to chat with you, Andrew. Have an
Likewise.
amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next couple of weeks. Let's talk about the Gallup survey. I'll send you the Gallup survey, and we can pull out some interesting stats and share it with the audience.
Just hold the book up again. This is a brilliant book. This book is just absolutely amazing. It's a very short, quick read, but it's just value packed. There's nothing superfluous in it. It's really wonderful. Yeah.
It's all about delegation. That's it. I'm not talking about anything else in leadership, just delegation.
And I can tell you, it's available worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide. It actually, you know what I really love about it? It was number one hot new release in UK, Australia, number one in HR and personal management, number one in business decision making, number one in HR and personal management in the UK. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah,
I tell you what, you are absolutely amazing, Kylie.
Keep telling me. Lovely to chat. Take care. Enjoy your day.